Okay, let's take a look now in a bit more detail at the audio capture side of things. And really this is going to work in one of two ways. One is going to be capturing it onto an audio recorder, as we've seen using something like this Zoom device, or perhaps capturing the audio directly into the camera. Now, if we're doing that, the audio is going to be going through our wire or through a wireless capture device that we've seen directly into the camera, and that's going to record the audio directly onto the same file as the video itself, in which case we don't need to do anything else. So long as it's gain structured appropriately, and what that means is that we have a suitable sound level that's captured, that's all we really need to worry about. Now, if we're recording onto a wireless device, such as this Zoom device here, we can see that in this case, the audio is being captured from my voice through the microphone, through the wireless transmitter. It's being picked up by the receiver. It's going down our cable into our Zoom device. Now, there's lots of different devices on the market. As you can see, this is a battery operated device. It has a very simple record button on the front. And what you can see here is this moving line is the signal of my voice as it's coming into the recorder through that signal path. Below that, we can see that we have some numbers. On the right, we have a 0, and on the bottom left, we have -48. And this is a signal in decibels. And what we're really aiming for is nothing really too much louder than -6, but somewhere between -6 and -12. And we certainly don't want anything over 0, otherwise the audio will be distorted. So taking a closer look at the Zoom then, we can see that we have our signal coming through from our wireless receiver down this wire and into the Zoom. Now, you may be using a different one, but a lot of the functionality is very similar on these types of recording devices. As you can see, it's a battery operated device, and it's going to record your audio file onto an SD card in the side of the device, which we can then transfer to a computer. Perhaps the most important thing to look at though is this dancing line through the middle here, which shows us our signal. So the signal of my voice is coming in, and it's measured in decibels along the bottom here. We've got a left and a right channel, and we can see that it's measuring somewhere between -12 and -6 dB, which is a good standard level to work to. We certainly don't want it going over 0 because that will add unwanted distortion or clipping to the recording. Another consideration to look at is the file format. You can see here that we are recording in 48K 24-bit audio, and I'd advise you to do that simply because that's the same sample rate that video works at, and it'll prevent any synchronization issues. If your signal is too quiet, you're going to have too much background noise relative to the level of the voice signal that you're trying to capture. So again, aim between -6 and -12 dB. And if you need to adjust that, most recorders have the ability to change the recording level. That on this device is done through this button here, and you simply press to step through low, medium, and high input of that recording. Other than that, there's a very simple, nice big red record button to hit record with, and that's about it. So that's an overview of using a Zoom recording device. Of course, there are many audio recorders on the market, and they all have slightly different functionalities, but many of the principles in terms of setting an appropriate recording level all apply. One device that we looked at earlier, the Tascam, for example, allows you to capture multiple input sources. So for example, if you have multiple microphones that you need to capture, and in which case there's a gain knob here for adjusting the signal of each of those inputs. You just simply need to make sure that they are turned on and record enables, and then that will allow you to capture multiple audio sources onto one recording at the same time. And then finally, one last thing that you need to think about when you're monitoring the audio, once you've got everything set up and you want to check it, and that is simply a good pair of headphones to make sure that the signal that you're planning on capturing is coming through at an appropriate level.